Here is an interesting phrase that we often use to describe a negative situation that we have literally created for ourselves. It perfectly describes the way in which one small action can have big consequences. The consequence of something is the result or the outcome. The action is what creates the consequence. In this particular phrase, we are talking about lying. A lie is an untruth that is said. Something that is untrue is often described as a lie. People lie for many different reasons. Sometimes one might lie to gain something that they would otherwise not be able to claim. A person might lie to gain money, a certain status, or a job. It is a fact that most people at some point will lie. They will mislead or misrepresent themselves in some way, which leads us nicely onto today's phrase. This particular phrase relates to the effects of telling a lie. Today's phrase is caught in a lie. This particular phrase refers to a situation where a person's lie has now come back to disrupt their life. Perhaps they have been misleading others around themselves about their background, such as their family life or their past experiences. Perhaps a person obtained a job through lying about their qualifications. Now a situation has arisen where someone has discovered the lie they told. There is now a danger that their lie will be exposed and the consequences will be negative. We can say that they are now caught in a lie. They have been pretending to be someone they are not. Perhaps that person has been lying about their whole life. Those lies have now come back to haunt that person. It would be fair to say that the longer you keep lying, the worse it becomes. Lying is a form of dishonesty. And of course, all dishonest actions are eventually discovered. The only problem with telling a lie is that quite often you will have to continue living that lie for as long as you are in that situation. It is rather like being caught in a giant net. The lie has now captured you. You are trapped in your own lie. Perhaps there is something bad you did in the past that you have lied about so as to avoid punishment, to try and cover something up by lying. Once again, this particular lie will control your whole life. You are trapped in that situation. You are caught in a lie. We might say that a person is living a lie if their whole existence is made up. Of course, most of us will exaggerate things that we've done in the past, so as to impress others. However, sometimes those lies can get out of control and take over your whole existence. A person who creates their own fake life history can be described as a Walter Mitty character. This relates to the famous story concerning a man who constantly lives in a fantasy world. A person who constantly lies and tries to impress others by making up stories about themselves might be described as a Walter Mitty character. To lie can be described as fabricating. Something is fabricated. It is unreal. It is not true. One of the hardest lessons in life to learn is that sometimes you must accept your existence as it is. However tempting it may be to exaggerate your experiences or abilities, remember, there will always be a time when that lie will come back to haunt you. Before you know what is happening, you will find yourself caught in a lie from which there is no escape.